The last video about these economical clocks ended with this scene. But before I actually start screwing these pieces together, I just want to round over some of the sharp edges here. I think that using my 1/8 inch round over bit here will do a lot better job than I could ever do using sandpaper. Right now I've got the clock sitting upside down on a towel so the top doesn't get marked. This is another one of those situations that's actually hard to describe, but if you watch, you'll know what I'm up to here. I have the slip clutch set really light here on the drill so as to not over tighten those screws and strip out the wood. So you can see there how those little blocks prevent the sides of the clock from slipping out while those pocket hole screws are being screwed down tight. This is a nice neat way for fastening the top down onto the sides without leaving any visible marks on the top. Now the bottom of the clock won't be seen unless somebody actually deliberately looks at it. So I'm just going to use ordinary screws here to hold it on. There's no use drilling the hole any deeper than I have to. I'm just making sure that the top is sticking out equal distance on each side. Once the holes are drilled, there's no turning back. Okay, let's just slow this thing down a bit. These countersinks don't have to be very deep, and I think I might have gone too deep. A minute ago I was running around the workshop looking for the key for this drill press again. No more. I've learned the hard way not to have the slip clutch set too tight on the drill, so I just drill them down until they're just nicely seated, and then I tighten them up by hand. Lots safer. These little spindles that I turned down earlier have to be cut to the right length. If you always keep your eye on the blade, it's not too likely you're going to stick your finger into it. I need to take the clock apart now so that I can use the sides to get the exact length for the spindles. Okay, I just got to get the stop adjusted right here, and I'm going to err on the side of cutting them too long rather than too short. I can always cut them shorter, but I can't cut them longer. And that's pretty good. I might have to sand them down just a tiny bit so that they're not pushing the top and the bottom away from the sides. Okay, now just put this all back together, and thank goodness I can speed this video up. A couple of the spindles are a little bit on the tight side, but that's okay. A little bit of sanding can easily take care of that. This is just a template anyway, just sort of to see how this is going to look. And this is how it's going to look. I've already carefully measured and cut out the back here, and I've rabbited out the top and the bottom so it'll fit in the grooves in the clock. And this system for easily and quickly putting in and removing the back of a clock, it's not my idea. This is actually quite common. You'll see. I was trying to think of what I could do about the feet for the clock, and I was thinking of maybe trying to put on some sort of little wooden feet of some kind. But then I thought, well, why don't I use these little stick-on pads or something like this? They're really inexpensive, and they can easily be removed should the clock be hung on the wall. Now, speaking of hanging it up, I want to be able to do it in a very inexpensive, easy way. And the easiest way that I know of is to make a little bracket the same way as I did on the Easy Clock, if you watched that video. Now, as you can see, the idea is here that if I put the back of the clock right up against that block of wood and everything is adjusted properly, I can't accidentally drill right up through the top of the clock. Measure twice, cut once. Well, in this case, drill once. Double check here now to make sure that bit doesn't go down too far. And here goes nothing. And in case you're interested, and I just know you are, I was told by somebody who works at the thrift store that the Easy Clock sold within 2 hours after they put it up. Now, it's not going to take very much to hold this little clock up. It's not very heavy. And if the nail is put in the wall at just a normal angle, it should work just fine. So, okay, it can be either a mantel clock or a wall clock. So rather than make a cedar clock exactly the right size to accommodate the dial the way I want to do it, I just cut out some templates here exactly the right size that I need. Well, I think it's time to start cutting mahogany now. And this should go actually pretty fast now that I know what I want to do. Having little templates like this cut to the right length sure makes it a lot faster and a lot more accurate. Well, this is the first of exactly 100 pieces that I need to complete those 10 mahogany clocks. I need 10 pieces for the tops, 10 for the bases, 10 for the dial boards, 10 for the backs, 20 for the sides, and 40 for the spindles.